There's never been a time since at least the year 2000 where dropshipping did not work. Now I want you to let that sink in for a moment. It's not hard to go anywhere online these days without hearing somebody say, dropshipping doesn't work anymore, or dropshipping is dead, or dropshipping is too competitive. I've been dropshipping for the last 12 years straight, and I can tell you right now, I've heard somebody or people online saying this every single year since then. The reality is that dropshipping still works today. Dropshipping will still work tomorrow. Dropshipping will still work next year, just the same as it worked yesterday. It worked last year. It worked 5 years ago. It worked 10 years ago. It worked 20 years ago. This might sound incongruous. Why are there people out there saying that it doesn't work when at the same time there's people like me who say that dropshipping does work? Well, the reality is that the people who say it doesn't work fall into one of two categories. Firstly, they're intentionally trying to mislead you to divert your attention to something else. It's an old marketing tactic that's as old as marketing itself. Oh, this over here doesn't work. You should try this. The other group of people who say that dropshipping doesn't work are people who probably mean well, but they just really are ignorant. They don't know what they're talking about, and they're assuming the wrong thing about what dropshipping actually means. And that goes to the heart of why dropshipping still works today. And that is simply because dropshipping is a method of e-commerce fulfillment. Dropshipping is not a business model. Let's get that really straight. Shopify dropshipping doesn't mean anything. It's not a business model. All that dropshipping refers to is how a product gets from point A to point B. Point A is a warehouse where the product is stored. Point B is the customer who bought the product. When I'm running an e-commerce business that is using dropshipping as a fulfillment method, what that means is that rather than the product shipping from a warehouse that I control as the person who runs the e-commerce website, the product is being shipped directly from a manufacturer or a distribution center or something like that, and their warehouse to the customer. Now, ideally, those two things are in the same country, so the shipping happens really quickly, but the customer doesn't know any different. They don't know that I'm dropshipping. I don't say on my business, this is a dropshipping business. And that's because dropshipping is not a business model. It's a method of fulfillment. A business that uses dropshipping as a fulfillment method is an e-commerce business. It's the same as any other e-commerce business. It's the same really as an e-commerce business that has products in their own warehouse. So this is why dropshipping isn't dead, and it's not going to be dead. And that's because a dropshipping business is an e-commerce business, and e-commerce is going nowhere. In fact, the e-commerce industry has grown steadily year on year since e-commerce started, essentially, and it's showing no signs of slowing down. Ask yourself this simple question. Are you going to stop buying things online? I'm willing to bet for you and for 99 point something percent of the population, the answer to that question is no. What you buy online may change from year to year, from month to month, but the simple fact is that people buy things online. People buy physical products online, and they're not going to stop doing that. And while ever people are buying things online, physical products online, drop shipping will be one of the fulfillment methods that are used to get those products to people. It's a fact. It's not going to change. And so the question of, does drop shipping work? It's kind of the wrong question, because the answer is always going to be yes. The better question for you, if you're somebody who's interested in getting into dropshipping, is how can I make dropshipping work for me? And that's a different question, and it has a different answer. And this is where people get confused about dropshipping doesn't work anymore. And it's because when people hear the term dropshipping and they think it's a business model, they relate it to a particular way of using dropshipping. And it's a way that was only really popularized in the last 5 years. It comes by different names. Some people will call it AliExpress dropshipping. Some people use the term Shopify dropshipping, like that means something. Or some people will use a term like low ticket dropshipping. And essentially what that meant was going to a platform like AliExpress and dropshipping cheap products, a $10, $20, $30 product retail from there to a customer in another country. And this got really popular for a little while, a few years ago. It's kind of died a bit now, and that's because it doesn't work very well. What it sounds like I'm saying there is that there are particular ways you could dropship that work well and not others, and that's true. Now, why is that true? Every type of e-commerce fulfillment, so whether it's dropshipping or whether it's maintaining your own warehouse, buying products on bulk and shipping them from your own warehouse to your customer, they all come with different pros and cons. So there are good things about using dropshipping as a fulfillment method, and there are bad things. There are good things about buying products on bulk or getting them produced en masse and storing them in your own warehouse, and there are, trust me, bad things about doing that. There are downsides. So one of the downsides about dropshipping, and when you're dropshipping, you're buying products individually. You're paying for them one at a time and you're shipping them as you get orders. One of the downsides of doing that is that you work with lower margins, so lower gross margins. What do I mean by that? Well, that means that because you're only buying a product individually, at least in the beginning, the manufacturer or the supplier or the brand that you're buying them from will generally give you a lower margin than if you are buying, say, 1,000 of their products in one go and storing them in your own warehouse. It makes sense, right? If you're buying a lot of products at once, people are going to tend to give you a better wholesale price as a reward of doing that. Now, this isn't really a big problem, and it doesn't mean that you can't get good margins when you're dropshipping. It just means that they're not as good as if you're buying the products on bulk in most cases. Now, over time, that can change because once you have an established sales volume with a brand or a manufacturer, even if you're buying products one at a time, if they can see that over the course of a month, you're really buying 100 or 1,000 of their products, they're still going to give you a better discount. And you'll get to that point. But in the beginning, you don't generally start there. And so the mistake that a lot of people make when they want to use dropshipping as a way to start an e-commerce business is that they treat it like they're storing products in a warehouse or they're buying them on bulk. And they try to sell low value products. So products that are like $10, $20, $30, maybe $50. Now, the problem with that when you're using dropshipping and you're buying those products one at a time is that you're not getting a good enough margin, and the margin in dollar terms is really low. So like you sell a $10 product, maybe you bought it for $5. And so every time you sell the product, you make $5 in your pocket to pay for your overheads, your marketing, etc., etc. Now that's really tough. And if you bought that same $10 product and you bought 10,000 of them, you would get it a lot cheaper and you would have a bigger dollar term margin to cover your business overheads. And so when you're running a dropshipping business, you can't run it like you have the products in your own warehouse because the economics just won't work out. Ad costs and all of these sort of things add up, and it's hard to sell a $10 product that you bought and you're selling and you've only got a $5 margin and cover ad costs. So a better way to do this is to say, well, how can we work with some of the downsides of dropshipping, aka a lower starting margin as a percentage, but still make enough per sale to cover the marketing costs and the other costs in the business, although the largest cost for a dropshipping business in the beginning is the marketing spend. Well, the answer to that, and this is the big game changer when it comes to how does dropshipping work for me over time sustainably, is to sell higher ticket products. And so this is what we do here, and what we've done, what I've been doing for the last 12 years is selling high ticket products. So what does that mean? That means when I'm looking for products to sell on a dropshipping using the dropshipping fulfillment method, I'm looking for products that have an average price of $1,000 or more. And you can go right up $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. In fact, we've sold an order for $100,000. And I've heard of people who have done more than $100,000. So why do we do that? If I get a product that's, say, $5,000 at a 30% margin from the supplier, which is the same margin I might get if I was buying a $20 product, in dollar terms, that margin is larger. So do the maths in your head, 30% on $5,000, that's over $1,000 margin. So that means I have over $1,000 every time I sell that product to acquire the customer. And acquiring a customer for a $5,000 physical product can cost $100 or less. So when you start doing the maths here, this is how you make drop shipping work for you. It's by finding high ticket products that you can source from local manufacturers, brands, or distribution centers, as in the product is in the same country as your customer. So if you're running your business in the United States, for example, you're sourcing it from warehouses in the United States and shipping it to the customer who's in the United States. There is absolutely no point trying to drop ship products directly from China into the United States. If you want to get products from China, the way to do that is to go and buy them on bulk and put them in a warehouse in the United States and then ship them from there to your customer. But that's not drop shipping. And so this is what I mean by saying, if you want to use the drop shipping fulfillment method, you can't run your business like you're using a different type of e-commerce fulfillment. You have to respect the fulfillment method and the nature of it and the upsides and the downsides. Drop shipping individual products from China takes, weeks to get to your customer. Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. That's not a good customer experience. Whereas finding a good brand or a good distribution center or a good manufacturer in the United States, shipping it from there to your customer, it's going to get to them in a few days. And that's the normal experience that people expect when they buy physical products online. So if you're looking to start a dropshipping business and you're saying, how can I make dropshipping work for me? This is how you do it. Find high ticket products. So aim for an average price point of $1,000 or more. Find local brands, suppliers, manufacturers, distributors of those types of products in your country. So as in, it doesn't have to be a company that's based in your country, but the products need to be warehoused in your country. Get approved with those suppliers. And that's as simple as picking up the phone and having a chat to them about selling their products on your website using the dropshipping fulfillment method. You build a website. We recommend you use Shopify. You can go to dropshipbreakthru.com/Shopify to check that out. It's the best e-commerce platform to build a website on for beginners. And then start running Google Ads. So the best advertising platform to get started with for a high-ticket dropshipping business, so selling products over $1,000 or more, is actually Google Ads. It's not social media, right? So Google Shopping ads, search text ads, but it's the Google Ads platform. That's where you start. Now, there are definitely other marketing strategies and tactics that you use over time to sell your products on a high-ticket dropshipping business, but Google Ads is still the place that we start. And I've been running ads there exactly the same way for the last 12 years. They work like clockwork. They still work today. So none of this, running Facebook ads and Instagram ads and trying to churn out content for TikTok and all of that sort of nonsense. Those 5 simple steps are how you start a high-ticket dropshipping business. It works in 2025. It'll work in 2026. Get started today. If you want to get a guide on how to take the first step, which is finding products that are $1,000 or more that you can get started with, head to dropshipbreakthru.com/passion. You'll find the little link. We've got a course for you. It's $27. We guarantee that at the end of that, you will find products that you can sell on using the dropshipping fulfillment method and build an e-commerce business around those.